What's up? What's up? This is Silla Abdul Inc. And we got my guy here, Tyler. Subjective Reviews. What's up, man?
What's going on? I like that intro, man. That was fire.
Shout out to my guy James, 42 Cut Productions. Check him on YouTube. Yeah. He may charge you though if
hey man, if he could give me something like that, I don't mind paying. That's all good.
Hey, he's real cool. I mean, he's with the Geekosity staff that I was telling you about, and so he was like, "Hey man, I see you talk about DC a lot, so we hooked it up, man." So
nice.
That's what's up. We got Yovik hanging in here, my man. What's up with you? So, man, Tyler, man, like I was telling you before, you know, it's been a while. We used to do a lot of those group streams together, and just kind of updating my viewers, just what you've been up to, and what's going on.
Same old. Like I was just telling you backstage, I was more consistent with my videos, but now I'm trying to be more consistent again. But I don't know. I mean, what happened, right, was that they released the Snyder Cut, and most of my videos were all about Snyder Cut, all about, and then it happened. And I said, you know what? I even told my viewers before that, I said, when this movie gets announced, I'm going to go hard in the Ayer cut direction. You know what I mean? I'm going to be all for the Ayer cut. And then, hey, I'm going to be all for trying to get Ben Affleck back as Batman. And then as soon as the Snyder Cut was released, it was kind of like AT&T and HBO were just like, yeah, we're pretty much going to give you guys all that. So I was like, and we're going to give you more. I mean, yes, it hasn't been announced yet. But again, same thing with the Snyder Cut. It's like, it's happening. We just know it.
Yes.
And then just all this, I don't know, just the drama on Twitter. So I got off of there.
Yeah, Twitter can be. Yeah, I'm starting to lean more towards just using it as promoting my streams.
Yeah,
because it gets a little petty on Twitter.
Well, it was crazy because I used to get like so much information on Twitter. I mean, like at the end, I was in a lot of like group chats and everything, and I would just be getting so much information, and I was like addicted to that as well, like scoops and everything, and like I was just constantly on there, just waiting for something to happen, and like talking to people, and then I was just like, man, this is like beginning to be like too much. So I need to calm down on that a little bit. But I've been still making videos here and there, but I'm focusing more on like making like better content. Like I said before, I would publish 3 days a week, but I'm like, no. I would always just do that. Even if there wasn't much to talk about, I would just publish. But now I'm just like, no, I want to publish when I want to publish, when there's something I actually want to talk about and get out there. So that's interesting that you said that as far as like publishing, because I'm fairly new, especially compared to you doing content, and like you said, it's almost like you do want to do more of the quality over the quantity, because you can kind of just churn out stuff like MCU, right? Right.
Just churn out as much as possible.
Now listen, I'm about to throw some people under the radar. But no, it's funny because like I think everyone knows Screen Rant, that they do a lot of articles and stuff. And sometimes they're like Snyder Cut all the time, which is great. I appreciate that. I love that. Snyder Cut, I'm all about Snyder Cut. But they have gotten to a point where they're just coming out with like seriously like 4 or 5 Snyder Cut articles a day about the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like I can't even like pinpoint one, but I feel like Joe Manganiello, like with the mohawk, like Joe Manganiello gonna have a mohawk in the Snyder Cut. Here's why. And I'm just like what? Like what?
Oh man.
Like, who cares?
Like you said, as far as that, it's almost like they have a quota. They have to come out with so many articles, Snyder Cut. And for shout out to Damien.
Yeah, man.
Saying what's up? What's up with you, man?
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's like and I think to be fair, I think every news site does kind of have their quotas and things like that, because
And I understand, and I look back at the videos that I made before the Snyder, and I was just like, man, some of these times I was pushing some. I was like, just diving deep and whatever. Like I said, it's all in fun, but I'm just like, okay, guys, I think you can like get off the gas just a little bit. Like
gotta step off a little bit.
Yeah, it's just like every little thing they want to talk about and tell you about. Apparently there's going to be an Easter egg in this scene, and then it's okay. Like,
and see, the funny thing with me is like I'm at this point I'm probably connected with more insiders than I was 6 months ago, but I kind of rather wait for the closer confirmation because I mean, I could come up with a video every day speculating like, hey, this may happen. But after a while,
I love speculations. I don't mind speculations. That's all good. I like that. I made a whole bunch of videos speculating. But yeah. Oh man,
Chubby Teddy Monster, what's up with you?
Oh, man? Hey, what's going on?
One of the best names on YouTube there. But but yeah, man. Like I was speaking about Geekosity. Just want to quickly debrief folks on their latest story here. Now, Mikey Sutton, of course, is the editor-in-chief. He's like a well-known scooper, mostly Marvel. He does a lot of Marvel stuff. Okay. And then with people like me, who's like hardcore DC, he's kind of finding his audience with DC. So that's kind of why I'm kind of working with him. But I say all that, but then it's a Marvel scoop right here. So he's talking about Daredevil, because Daredevil transcends like Spider-Man and Netflix MCU. That transcends the lines to me. Those were like just great, great shows. Now, did you hear the latest? It was a couple of days ago. They were saying multiple scoopers saying, "Hey, Charlie Cox is back." Did you hear that story?
Yeah, I did hear that.
So it's like cool. Like Feige looks like he's going to, reuse what worked before, which is cool. So according to this latest update with Geekosity, just came out about 15 minutes ago that they want Charlie Cox Daredevil to meet Moon Knight. Moon Knight, we heard that rumor of Oscar Isaac being Moon Knight. So interesting if they follow through with all that. As I always say, it is all speculation till it's confirmed. But Mikey Sutton, he hit a lot of stories. But what's your thoughts on that?
It's interesting. I mean, with Disney Plus, I mean, they just came. Of course, we're going to talk about it, but they just came out with a whole bunch of stuff, and especially with the Spider-Man 3 and everything, and all the people they're gonna have involved. But my question to you is, it's saying that he's gonna face Moon Knight. Like, what does that mean? Like, he's gonna go against him, like fight him, like what?
Well, just looking at the article, it's more of like how the Punisher was in season 2.
Okay,
as far as they'll kind of meet, and everyone definitely check out geekositymag.com to kind of get the update. But Mikey always puts these old comic book pictures here.
Okay,
kind of showing like those crossovers. Okay, so it's gonna be more of like how it used to be when these heroes meet up. They kind of probably fight real quick.
Yeah, and then they're like, me and you were on the same team.
Exactly. So
they're saying that's going to be on Disney Plus.
That's the initial report, but then you look at it how you want some mature content, you kind of have to use like Hulu, or because if you watched the Investors Day the other day, right? The Disney.
I didn't watch it, but I got I got the gist of it. I saw the slate for everything Marvel, Star Wars. Yeah, I saw
Star Wars. Yeah, and we'll get, like I said, we'll kind of break it down. But as far as what they were talking about on that Investor Day, is that they're looking for. They already have it set up for a portal for mature content connected with Disney Plus. So it's just about how they roll that out. I believe they're saying Disney Plus, but it'll be that mature section. Daredevil, you can't water down Daredevil. If you bring it back Charlie Cox, and I heard it was bringing back Kingpin too. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but they bring it back Vincent, the Daredevil, the Kingpin guy.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question, because I was listening to something today, and because I originally saw something where I thought they were going to have like a mature tab on Disney Plus or something where you could access, the Alien movies and all that stuff, the Fox stuff. But then I heard, I swear I heard it today, they're possibly saying that was going to be on Hulu, because there's a deal where Disney and Hulu are like, I guess, together now, or Disney owns Hulu, and they were just going to take all that more mature stuff and they were going to put it on Hulu. But then I also heard that it was going to be on Disney Plus. So I'm like, which one is it?
Right.
Like, what are you hearing?
I'm gonna go. I've heard both, like you said, but I'm gonna go off the investors meeting where they actually were showing the beta menu of a mature section. They were showing the international version, so I didn't see if it was like Hulu for America, or what I'm saying. But they straight up showed like they was like, go to your settings. If you want to allow 18 plus content, it opened up another tab. So I was like,
so then it seems like it's probably going to be on Disney Plus then.
Yeah, it's going to be like all built into Disney Plus. Yeah.
Well, they have to go that route. They really do. I mean, as much as popular as Disney is, they need to go if they want to get more people to come on their platform. And their streaming service, they need to have their mature content. I mean, they have so much stuff that they're not releasing yet because it's Disney. But if you put out that mature tab or whatever, the 18 plus. Right. It's like they're just so afraid of it. It's like even them doing that, they're still like we just want to hide it. Like we don't want people to see it.
Yeah, that's how it looked too.
Yeah. You have to go to this special menu and do this and access this and put a code in here and go. It's like, oh my god, you guys need to relax. No one is looking at Disney and going, oh my god, they have aliens on there. Jesus, what is going on?
The way they was kind of tiptoeing around it the other day, it was like, you got to go through this menu, then this menu.
Oh my god!
Then it has that question pops up. Are you sure you want to allow mature content?
Are you sure?
So but the fact that it's confirmed that Ryan Reynolds is signed for Deadpool. They're going to find a way to integrate this, but keep it separate from Mickey Mouse. Exactly. We got Joe. Joe is saying she needs that scene with the Punisher, Moon Knight, and it's so she has that sadistic humor. So yeah, I get it. But so looking forward to that. So we kind of already talked about the Disney. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Right. I know I made a joke about the quantity, but. This is the thing here. It's like I always preface this by saying I'm a fan. I'm a fan of superhero genre, just pop culture in general. So I'm just more DC. That just is what it is. So when someone clips my comments, hopefully they catch that first. But looking at this now, this is just me personally saying this. I wasn't overly impressed by all. Like it was a lot. It's a lot of stuff here, and I was just kind of like just starting at the top, Eternals. I know nothing about that. But that WandaVision, have you seen the trailer for the WandaVision?
I saw the first trailer, but I know they released another one for, I guess, the Disney meeting they had the other day. I didn't watch that. No.
Mm-hmm. So I wasn't impressed. And again, I know it'll probably be some cool, I think it'll be some cool stuff, like, mind trippy stuff, but I was just like, okay, it didn't really stick the landing, that or the Loki. The Falcon.
I thought the Loki trailer, I really don't care about Loki, but I was like, I want to see this trailer. I want to see what they're going to do with this character. And I watched the trailer. I got absolutely nothing out of that. There wasn't 1 second where I was like, man, I got to watch that. I was just like, it just looks like some normal dude not really doing much. Just, I don't know. It didn't really explain much, but it didn't show me any. It didn't have any scenes where I was blown away or something amazing. Yeah, right. And I'm like, you got to come out the gate with something like that, and they didn't do that. So, what do you think the show's going to be like? How do you think that's going to be?
I'm saying that's the first look. That's my first time seeing footage of Loki, and I was just like, okay. I mean, I have Disney Plus, so I'm gonna, it's not gonna be like Mandalorian, where every Friday morning. Or every time I get off work on Friday, I watch Mandalorian. It's not going to be like that with this Loki or this WandaVision. The Falcon and Winter Soldier, they did have a money shot with Falcon.
They did at the end. But even seeing that, I was just like, yeah, that was cool. But
that's a lot of but and I was like, but I'm disappointed in saying that. I'm really disappointed.
Here's the thing, right? Again. Listen, I am so happy for the Marvel fans. I'm so happy for people that love Disney. Listen, I am. I really am for you. And like we said, we prefer DC over Marvel. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem with a director like Zack Snyder. We talk about him all the time, but it's like the dude has given us some of the greatest imagery that we will ever see, the greatest visuals. And when that is in your head, you can't get that out. Nothing can match that. So when you see these Marvel, and it's just like, okay, cool,
I'm just not impressed.
Yeah, you're not. You gotta, and that's what sucks though, is with all these superhero movies and shows, is each time as the years have gone on that they've given us new things to look at, new wow moments, right? You think you see something, you're like, man, I'm never gonna be able to see something like that again. And then you watch a Wonder Woman trailer and she's lassoing lightning. I'm like, okay, there it is. There is the new thing that I've never seen. Right. You know what I mean? They're pushing the limits and limits and limits, and they just do the craziest stuff. And then when you see Falcon flying and there's drones attacking it, whatever, or a helicopter, I'm like, okay, I've seen that before.
It's like, okay, it's a money shot. It's like,
no, it looks good. It looks visually, it looks good. It's showing everyone that they're spending the money, and HBO and AT&T, they're going to be spending the money too. So
so I mean, it at least confirmed that. But like Barcelona saying right here, they didn't have Deadpool on that slate yet, but they're probably more like 2023, 24. But just kind of going down this, like I said, we wasn't impressed by the 3 shows that's coming out like within the next 6 months. They showed nothing of Shang-Chi, which is done filming.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Weird.
Is that even on there?
That's on the very top.
Is that on the
third square?
Okay, I see it. Yeah.
So they're done with production, and I was told that they're looking to reintroduce the Iron Fist character either in this project with Shang-Chi or something connected to kind of reboot Iron Fist. But
that dude was a bore, man.
Exactly. You got to kind of, you can't bring that one back like Charlie Cox. So I was like, I wasn't impressed with what they showed me, and then I was disappointed I didn't get any Shang-Chi content. Eternals comes out the end of next year, and I'll show the release dates in a minute. But just kind of jumping down there. I mean, Black Widow, they still say that's coming out in theaters. It's not coming like a dual release in May, which is weird because it's still a pandemic going on. So I'm not dying to see Black Widow. I mean, I'm gonna go to the theater still, like when I feel safe and family, but I'm not breaking my neck to see Black Widow. But after that, man, I just wasn't impressed by anything on that second half, like at all. Like Fantastic Four, cool. Black Panther, everybody knows what I feel about Chadwick Boseman. I don't think they should even make another Black Panther. So it's like I didn't I just didn't get that excitement, man. I mean, because
this was Disney's chance to possibly outshine what DC has been doing, because for the longest time, especially since May, is they've just been putting out crazy castings and all this information. And then DC fandom was literally just, I mean, it was pandemonium. The amount of I don't think we'll ever have another day where we get that much content in one day in the trailers. And I'll never forget, I mean, the Snyder Cut trailer, I mean, one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And then I'm watching the end of it, and the last panel I was watching was the Batman. Robert Pattinson's the Batman. And Batman's my favorite character. Of course, I want to see what this is all about. Right. And I wasn't sure what I was going to expect. I was like, let's watch. And then they put the trailer up, and I was like, damn. Yeah. That's how you ended the show. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Listen, I'm all for Ben Affleck's Batman. That's my favorite Batman. Right. And I want the show, and we're gonna get the show.
We're gonna get it.
But damn, listen, if you want to give me Ben Affleck Batman on HBO and you want to give me Robert Pattinson's Batman, I'm all for whatever. The more the merrier. But yeah, DC was just putting out knockers and knockers, just week by week by week. And this was Disney's chance. They were holding it all in. They were holding it all back, and they said, we're gonna release this. We're gonna have this with Disney. What do they call it? The Investors Day, whatever.
Investors Day,
yeah, and we're gonna blow the world away. And with most of the projects on there, we already knew about those.
They blew the shields away, but like Film Guy says right here, that quantity. That sums up what I think about it.
Listen. I rarely promote videos, but you need to watch Film Gob's video. One of his latest videos. It's 6 minutes, and he's talking about the Disney Investors Day. Oh my God! Everything he said, I felt. I was like, dude, you're taking the words right out of my mouth. Oh yeah. But again, I'm not trying to hate. But I will say that on the Marvel side of things, they didn't really do much, I don't think, for a bunch of people, because it was a bunch of things they already knew. But with the Star Wars side, that was like
that's what won the day for me. Like this won the day. That like, was all I had to hear was the Obi-Wan Kenobi with Hayden Christensen coming back as Darth Vader. I was sold. I was like, it didn't matter what Marvel did after that to me. But what else what else impressed you with the Star Wars? Because I think Star Wars won the day for me. I put that up to a fandom, like what Star Wars did. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, a lot of people that know me, they know that I don't give two shits about Star Wars.
Wow.
I know a bunch of people do. I get it. I get the hype. I don't care about Star Wars, and I won't watch any of the shows. I don't watch The Mandalorian. I don't watch that. Like, I just don't. But what I'm telling you as someone that's looking from the outside is like, wow, like this even blew me away. Like, damn, like they went hardcore and
went in.
And let me tell you, if I was a Star Wars fan and seeing this, I'd be losing my shit. So when it comes to Star Wars, they went, and I'm surprised by this because I don't know. I mean, I felt like they were like all in on giving so much Star Wars maybe a couple years ago, and then they had that hiccup with the Han Solo movie. And I think that's when they kind of like pumped the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, it's like fall back for a minute.
Yeah, and then like with their last couple Star Wars movies, like they made $1 billion, but they didn't make what the first one made, and there was a lot of controversy surrounding them. And I thought they were just like, okay, let's pump the brakes a little bit and let's try to figure this thing out. And they pumped the brakes until now. They were just like everything.
No, they reloaded. Like that's what this is. I mean, because you got the Mandalorian, you got the 2 spin-off shows from Mandalorian, you got the Lando with what's the guy, Donald Glover. He's coming back to that role. Rogue Squadron. You remember the video game, Rogue Squadron, that game?
Oh yeah.
So it's like they went all the way in on this. Like, and then you got the Andor, that's Cassian Andor. You got the Clone Wars sequel, Bad Batch, which I think is going to be dope. So I mean, they got a lot of stuff, and I get it. I think they stole MCU's thunder, just in my point of view.
I mean, I can definitely see why.
Last. Yeah, they should have let them go last because they killed it. But Chubby Tatum said Star Wars was pretty good. Notice Zero sequel trilogy spinoffs. Yeah, right. Yeah, they're not touching that for another like 5 years, man. Well, until who knows where Rogue Squadron is going to fall, like in their little timeline, or are they going to just kind of poof everything away? But so, like I said, I was impressed, like what you said is that if you can get people who aren't hardcore fans of a genre to be like, hey, that was impressive. I think Star Wars did their job. And the MCU, if you was fans already before that, then you just got, that's your sugar rush. You're like, oh, they gave me more snacks, That's what
it's. I mean, I hate picking on these guys. It's a hard time to be a Marvel fan. I feel like because they blew their load and they knew they blew their load, and it was just like, hey, you guys had your time to shine. You really did, but then you just blew, and now they're just like, what do we do now? We can just kind of give you some movies here or there, but we don't know who's going to be the next big villain. I mean, I'm sure they'll figure it out. I just, and it's a shame because I really wanted to see the numbers of, I guess I should hold off on that, but Black Widow, I was really curious to see how Black Widow was going to do in the movie theaters because Captain Marvel, I saw Captain Marvel and I thought that was a piece of trash.
Oh man.
And that movie made $1 billion, but I think the reason it made so much money was because of its placement. Yes. And then right after Endgame, you had Spider-Man 2, Far From Home. I think that made $1 billion too. But again, that was a movie right after Endgame. They were saying, okay, how's this movie going to go? What's going to happen? You know what I mean? This is the next adventure after. So now you have Black Widow, which is more of a prequel. So we know that it doesn't, it's not going to really, it's not going to give us any surprises. Yeah. We know that she dies. And I was really interested to see because listen, if that movie would have made $1 billion, then I would have just been like, damn, they literally can put out anything they want. It's going to make $1 billion because they got some hardcore fans.
Now I think they ran out of their pixie dust. I think with these $1 billion movies.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. But again, I'm happy for them because listen, they had to sit back for months and just watch all the DC fans just jumping for joy with all this excitement and all the stuff that we were getting handed. So I'm happy they had their day, but yeah, I don't know, whatever you want to do with that. And maybe you think that's amazing. That's an amazing slate, but I don't know.
I mean, like I said, I have some friends, content creator friends who, I'm still gonna be doing shows with them because even though they're MCU, but
that's fine.
They were just like, hyperventilating.
Oh, really?
I was like, it ain't really, they was like, they're like, ooh, DC. I was like, really, bro? Like, we're gonna go there.
You know what? And I'm not even. I don't. If you like Marvel movies, I'm so happy for you. I'm not trying to be one of those guys that says DC's better, Marvel sucks. No, that's just what I prefer. And again, with all this content that's coming out, I think we all win.
Exactly.
That's the beautiful thing is that this is what I always say is, okay, if you want to come out with movies over here, I don't need to watch those. I don't need to, like I just said, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I don't need to watch those movies. I don't need to watch those shows. But guess what? There's a bunch of other people because I know that I'm in the minority that want that, they love it, and they're going to have a great time with that. And that makes me happy because you get to yeah, exactly,
something in here like you could it's a few things I'm going to
watch. Listen, I through the in the past I've watched every Marvel movie. Going through this list though, I'm at a point now where I'm not going to anymore. Let me be straight up with you. I'm going to go through this list right now, and I'll tell you what I'll watch and what I won't. The Falcon and Winter Soldier, I will give that a couple episodes. I will watch that. Eternals, I won't watch it. Shang-Chi won't watch it. WandaVision won't watch it. Low-Key won't watch it. Is that Doctor Strange?
Yeah, I'm going to check that out.
Let me tell you something. First Doctor Strange movie I hated.
Really?
Doctor Strange being in the Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame, I loved him. I thought the dude was awesome. I was like, yeah, I really like this guy. There's some characters like that. Like I like them when they're not in their own movies.
Like team concept, yeah.
Yeah, What If won't watch it. Hawkeye won't watch it.
I'm worried about that Thor. I'm so worried about that.
I feel like I'm talking a lot, but
no, you're good.
Thor, okay, let me talk about Thor real quick. The first two movies I thought were garbage. Didn't like them. Didn't like the character. Then I saw the third one. I was like, wow, I thought it was great. Okay. And so I gave Thor a chance, and then they completely just ruined his character in Endgame.
Oh my goodness!
I can't believe that happened. Same thing with Hulk. They just I don't know.
Hulk is just now. Hulk is supposedly the I guess the rumor. They're gonna try to have him show up in that She-Hulk in some capacity.
Okay.
The Abomination. Well, actually, they announced that, so it's not even a scoop. So
yeah, I heard that.
Abomination and the Hulk. So She-Hulk may be interesting because if you're putting money into it, and Moon Knight, they have a chance if they go mature with Moon Knight. If that's true, the Daredevil story, then I like what they are planning. But from there, what do you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm looking at the rest of it. I'm not gonna watch Black Widow. I'll watch Blade. That's it. After Blade, I'm not.
Yeah, Blade.
I'll give Moon Knight a chance because from what I hear from my Marvel friends, as I said, that's kind of like the Marvel version of Batman. So I'll give Moon Knight a chance. But other than that, I'm not watching any of that.
It just didn't blow me away. And you got the Guardians Christmas special. It's like, okay, bro, y'all kind of jumped the shark right there. But so we got the Disney stuff out of the way. So and this is the narrative that I was trying to bring out at first. I forgot to even touch on, but the whole theater that Warnermedia is killing the theater experience right now. Out of all of these Marvel shows, now we're not even going to count Star Wars because, like you said too, they kind of fell back after the sequel trilogy. So they're not coming up with nothing in the theaters next year. Now we're talking about strictly theaters. So MCU, looking at this release date, you have some Disney Plus, but you have Black Widow, you got Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Spider-Man. And then I think it's like 2 animated Disney movies. So they got about 6 projects coming out in theaters.
Okay.
So this is the narrative, right? That Warner Media is bad for theaters. Disney, I guess, is nice. I don't know. But this is what Warner Media is coming out in theaters in 2020. 17 projects. It happens to be dual release in the U.S. only.
Yeah.
So this whole narrative of Warner Media is killing theaters. That's one thing that was weird to me hearing that and seeing what Disney came out with, and I was just like, okay, they've kind of pulled out on theaters too, like or they pushed everything back so that they don't have to deal with it. Warner Media that's projects. That's
been the problem for a while with Disney is, and I've even heard this from directors. I think Quentin Tarantino was talking about it, how Disney was threatening because Quentin Tarantino wanted to have one of his movies, was it The Hateful Eight? And he wanted to have it at some big movie theater in California. And they told him, okay, they said, you can have this 1 week or a couple weeks in this spot at this big theater in California. I forget what it was called. No. And then that was already settled. That was the contract. And then Disney got involved and they said, no, we want to show one of our Star Wars movies in that spot. And they were like, they told Quentin, they're like, we don't want you, we don't want to like ruin this relationship with Disney, because Disney was threatening them, saying that if you don't put this movie in there, we're never going to release another Star Wars movie in your movie theater again. And then so they eventually took the Star Wars movie over Quentin Tarantino's movie. So it's like they have this, and it's the same thing with the critics.
Yep.
You know, and I highly believe that. It's like, oh, you know, if you give our movie a bad review, then you're never going to be able to see a movie early again. Or same thing with movie theaters. You don't if you don't show our movie, we're never going to show another Star Wars movie in your whatever. But yeah, I mean, there's a bias. We can clearly see it, and I just wish people would step back for a second and look at all this. Even the directors who were all pissed off that with you know, Denis Villeneuve and Christopher Nolan and all their, and I'm like, you guys need to realize they're still releasing the movies in theaters.
That's and the reason why it's dual release is literally because of health and safety.
Yes.
Like Barcelona is saying here, directors complaining more than half of the U.S. aren't either they can't go to theaters or they're afraid to go to the theaters. I always bring up the poll numbers that I think Grace Randolph actually came up with these numbers, but they were real poll numbers that in the next 6 months, 50% of the United States box office, the people, 50% of the United States are not planning on going to the theaters in the next 6 months. That's going to kill any movie. I mean, that's what, in a sense, kind of killed Tenet, even though it made, you know, 400 million worldwide. You know,
is that what it made worldwide?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty damn good.
Nearly 400 million, and that's for a blockbuster film. I mean, it was a little under that actually, but the fact that it had to kind of squeak out 400 in the middle of a pandemic, the first shutdown, that was impressive. But all these other movies aren't going to do that. Like on this slate right here, what Warnermedia did, they was looking at this like, okay, Mortal Kombat's not going to pull no 400 million in a pandemic. You know, people are going to watch it. You know, Wonder Woman, all this stuff. You know, it was a business decision, but it's only dual release in the U.S. So it's not like a worldwide thing where they're just pulling it out of theaters. So I just don't like that narrative. I don't like the narrative that people are, you know, dumping on Warnermedia. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that, like you said, there's a pandemic, and they've already waited almost a whole year, and they've had these movies, and they're looking at it like, we have all these movies, and we need to make money. That's how we survive. That's how we continue to put out more content. Is we need to make money. We need a solution. And I think what they did was the best thing they possibly could. Like you said, HBO Max is not international, so all the international people can see the movies in the movie theaters if they want to go.
Right.
And you know, I think it's a brilliant move. And again, if you read the article, they say this is only for 1 year. Now, if what was that? Jason Momoa put that up?
Yeah, that's kind of odd. He's in the Dune movie, so he's supposed
to.
You know,
no, that's weird. So yeah, they're saying only for a year. Now, let me tell you that if their numbers skyrocket for HBO Max, their subscriber numbers, they skyrocket, then they go international. As soon as they go international, their numbers are going to quadruple as well. Yeah. So if they see those numbers go up, we know the future is streaming. It's unfortunate, but it is. It's streaming. It just makes the most sense.
They're ahead of the curve. I mean, literally, that's what this means, is that they're ahead of the curve. It shocked everyone. Yeah. But this is a new standard.
Yeah, and I understand these directors is they want the people to see their movies in theaters. I get that 100%. But they're not looking at it from a business standpoint. They're just, and you know, it's them being mad at first. Once they calm down, they're going to realize, okay. But then they're also saying that, you know, a bunch of these directors and actors is like, they didn't even know this was happening. That's why they're pissed off as well. And that's why they want the money, because apparently they get like a lot of residuals. Yeah, I guess when the movie plays in theaters, certain things happen. And I didn't know that. I know certain contracts, some contracts are weird where that does happen. But I always thought that it was like, okay, we're going to pay you this much money to be in this movie, and that's it. Okay, here's your $10 million. You're going to act for us in this movie. That's it. You're done. I was always under that impression, but apparently not. I guess contracts these days say if the movie does well, you'll get more money. I don't know.
It depends on the star. Yeah, like Gal Gadot, she had a special deal because she was a star of Wonder Woman. So if Wonder Woman 84 hit $1 billion, she would have got a certain bonus. Her and Patty Jenkins. Now, what really ticked off all the directors is that Warnermedia went to Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot and says, let's just go ahead and settle, and we're going to pay you just as if you was going to make $1 billion, and then go tell people how great this dual release is. So they use him as spokesmen. They gave him a little extra. Christopher Nolan, his thing was that we said the figures with his number, right? It was 400. They gave him a deal steal because they said, okay, you made about 50% of what you probably would have made under normal conditions, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to pay you as if you hit like 750 in the box office.
Yeah.
But again, he's looking at Patty Jenkins. She got the billion, the bonus for $1 billion.
Yeah.
He didn't get that. That's why he spoke out. And that's why the Dune director speaking out. I mean, I'm not buying this whole thing of long live the theater and all this stuff. I'm not buying that because it's still going to be in theaters. They're just really doing this as a precaution. And yes, it's making the shareholders happy for Warnermedia. Yes, it is, because they're going to get that money on the subscription game now, So they're like, cool, whatever you do, you're bringing in money. So like someone said in an earlier stream that the directors are sounding a little tone deaf, when you have people that's really afraid to go to theaters and you're like, oh, you shouldn't make it available at home. Like, just long live the theater experience. It's like, nah, y'all a little out of touch, with reality, in my opinion. Now, as far as informing directors, you brought up a point with that. Like, I think Damien said that too. They should have at least informed the directors. Yeah. That is a little funny that they were just like, press release, the world knew.
Yeah, that was strange how they didn't let anyone. I'm like, whoa, that's not good. That's like a bad relationship. You gotta let them know. Just let everyone know that your movie is going to be. Yeah, that threw me off. I don't know what. It was like they were so happy they just jumped the gun. Like they had a meeting and they were like, "Yeah, this is what we're going to do." And it's like, "Oh, yeah, send it out right now."
Well, what I think, and like I said, I love Warnermedia. I love HBO Max, but I think Jason Kilar, like the shareholders, was like, "Oh, we're gonna get this bonus for you if this deal goes through." So Kilar was like, "Push it through. Let's go." It's for the fans. So I get this business. I'm not even. It is like one of those, like I said, a bad relationship, like. Through a text message, you found out that your film is going to HBO Max. But it is what it is. I think these movies, when I get a chance, I'm still going to go to the theaters if it's available to me. Yeah. But Wonder Woman 84, I'm watching it on HBO Max. Like straight up.
Yeah. Well, my buddy, he texted me and said, "Hey man," because I always told him that me and him were going to go to the movie theaters and see that. But that was like in like the summertime when it was supposed to come out. It was supposed to come out in like September or October, I think. And we made plans. We said, when it comes out, and then it got delayed until Christmas, and then they said it was going to be HBO Max, and he said, we should go see it in the movie theaters. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go on Christmas Day, but I'm going to watch that shit on Christmas Day. Like, I'm going to watch it. So I don't even know if he knew that it was going to be on HBO Max. But then, because I live in Pennsylvania right now, they just came out and said that the movie theaters are going to be closed until at least January 4th for starting today. The governor shut down everything. So I texted him. I said, we can't see this movie until after January 4th. And I was like, just so you know, it's coming out on HBO Max. And he was like, oh, but I still want to see it in the movie theaters. I was like, that's fine. I said, we'll try to watch it after that. But I'm going to be watching on HBO Max.
I mean, well, exactly. I mean, like I said, after breakfast, Christmas Day, I'm watching Wonder Woman 84, HBO Max. But
no doubt,
these other films like the Godzilla vs. King Kong, if it's available at a theater, I'm gonna check it out for the theater experience. I mean, there's a few movies I'm going to go to the theaters. Like I'm going to go see Dune. I'm gonna see Space Jam just off of principle. So Matrix. So I mean, it's a lot going on, on there that can still help the theaters if people are safe. But if you're not, you can watch it at HBO Max in the US. So, I mean, that's exactly a win-win to me, man. Like I don't.
Yeah, exactly. It literally is a win-win. You can do whatever you want. I want the theater experience. Then go to the movie theaters and watch
go to the theaters, right? Yeah. It's like, but
it's not available around me. That's your government's fault. I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to depend on your local area for sure. Like Joe says, instead of Warner Brothers, they call them Former Brothers. I mean, they were a little salty, man. It's about money, though. I don't want people to miss the narrative here.
It's always about money.
It's about their money, man, because they found out about that deal that Patty Jenkins got. So, I mean, it is what it is, and. That's just my stance, not just because I'm a DC fan, but that it makes sense to me what Warner Media is doing. And I'm gonna watch all these movies, most likely on HBO Max. So it's all good.
What doesn't make sense is for them to put it on HBO Max but charge you an extra $30 to watch it. That doesn't make sense.
And no one complains about that. Like that Mulan rollout. I mean, and again, I say off principle. I was like, I'm not paying for that. Like,
no,
you got two little girls here. I was like, y'all just gonna have to wait to watch it.
But it's on there. No, you got to pay extra money for it. You know what's funny? Disney's response to HBO Max putting out that information about the movies that you just showed and everything. Literally, even I'm not sure if it was the day of or the day after. I was on Disney Plus for my son, and there it was, Mulan. You can watch. No more premiere access.
Yeah.
It was available. I said, "Oh, here we go."
And that's when they watched it. When it popped up on Disney Plus, I was like, "Well, hey, there we go. We got
Mulan now. We got to do something quick." Mulan.
That is interesting. They just threw it on there real quick.
Yep.
Now while we're talking about Warnermedia, you kind of touched on Batfleck just real quick. The trending event coming up tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. Make the Batfleck movie. The account on Twitter is @Batfleck Movie. They're trying to make sure Jason Kilar and everyone knows that, hey, I know everyone's all hype about Disney. You announced that Batfleck project, which, there's so many scoopers now that's hearing about it. And it's like Mikey Sutton of Geekosity, he straight up just told me, he's like, they just need to go and announce it. He was like, it's like, let's stop playing this game. Let's just go and announce it. But it's the trending event. What was it, tomorrow? Follow that account, and just kind of get involved with that, so that they know that we want that project announced. And then just imagine, like, we get that announcement. We already know Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming out in a few months at this point. You get that back. I'm good for the year, probably, man. Like you give me that announcement and Zack's cut. Like, I'm good. Like, until y'all make it, I'm good.
I don't know, man. I mean, once I see the Snyder cut, I may never watch another movie again. I may just be complete. You know what I did once I saw that Disney had that slate announced or whatever, they had their Disney Day. I immediately watched the Snyder cut trailer and I said, "Oh," I said, "There it is."
That's what it feels like.
There it
is. I tell you, man, because these shots in that trailer, man. Like you mentioned the trailer, like, dude, I mean, this is like
even that looks cool. Yeah, that was added right there. That's cool.
Oh my goodness, that's just wonderful. Like, look at these shots, man, is ridiculous, and like we're getting it now. Did you hear the rumor of, I guess, when it's possibly coming out? Have you heard any whispers about that?
Still, I'm about to be pissed off, man. If I think I know what you're gonna say, it doesn't make me happy. It could be worse though.
I'm not gonna say that.
It could be worse. Well, I mean, are you going to talk about it? Like,
well, I'm just. I mean, did you hear anything, or
I'll say this. I don't do Twitter anymore, but sometimes I do get on there and I just search shit because I like to. And I did see on someone's Twitter account that apparently Grace Randolph might have screwed up, or she might have said something. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, there was a few things, but yeah, Grace.
She had it in her headline. She was talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
something in her caption, or maybe something she said, but it said that it's going to be released the same month that the Snyder Cut's going to be released,
which is March. But
no. What? Oh, it's March now.
Yeah.
Oh what? Yeah. Wait a second. Oh damn! Now I'm happy again.
Well, that's just a rumor. That's just what Grace was saying.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, now I'm going nuts. Now I'm happy again. Wait a second. I saw that. I saw the Grace Randolph thing saying, "Oh, she slipped up or whatever," and she said it's going to be coming out the same month. And I said, "Okay." So right away, I went to Google and I looked up Falcon and Winter Soldier release date. It said August. It said August 2020. So that thing that you just showed me, is that newly updated?
That's up to date. That's up to date after the Disney investors meeting. That's coming out in March. Now,
well, never mind. Let's go. That makes sense.
But again, that's just Grace. She may have heard that about March. I'm going to go off of Jason Kilar again. He said in a press release, I think this month, when they announced the slate, he said, Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out in a few months. And he did a little winky face and stuff. So
a few means 2, but maybe 2 or 3.
Saying,
2 or 3.
Hey, just drop it January 1st. Let's just.
Oh my god, dude! I can't freaking wait.
But I've been told like leading up to this point, I was like expected by May or sooner, of course. But it sounds like it's gonna be sooner than May. So there goes my scoop. Well, it may not be May. We have to wait. We may not have to wait to May, which is a good thing.
Well, Zack did put up that picture, I think last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, of it was like I guess them doing the sound editing for the movie, and people were saying, because I don't know much about the production and everything and how all that stuff works, but they were saying that that's like the last thing that you do is you put in the sound for the movie and then it's done. So I'm like, okay,
let's go.
I know, man, and because like that's the good thing too is when it comes to all those movies and all those projects as of right now for AT&T and HBO Max, that's the one that they want to get out as quick as possible. Mm-hmm. The Snyder Cut is what they're just like. They're ready for. They're like, we need. Like, there's so many fans that want this right now. We need to get it out.
Well, and this is what I say too is that AT&T. I was told, AT&T, Warnermedia, like they know, like this is their silver bullet, for the year. They know, like this is the most anticipated project, probably, of 2021. Period. So, I think they want to get this out as soon as they can.
Yes.
2021. Now, I was told also, because it's inevitable for us to say, okay, Zack had a trilogy, right? Justice League trilogy.
Yeah.
I was told that they are prepared. They're waiting. They know that we're going to ask for more. They're prepared to hear the fans ask for more. And another one of my friends, news entertainment site, they said that Zack is already converting his script over to a series form for the sequel. So we'll wait for that confirmation with all that. But they know they have a lot riding on this.
I think, the more I think about it, I think what's going to happen is the very last episode of the Snyder Cut or whatever. It's gonna be open ended. It's gonna lead into like more. You just know. And I think that's gonna be their way of, saying like, we're gonna do more too. We're gonna do a sequel or whatever.
Oh, I mean, if it's Zack's vision, then he's leading up to more. So it's like now. What's interesting, speaking of Zack, is that did you see this event of this Tuesday, December 15th, 12 Pacific, at DCFandom.com. They're going to have that virtual premiere, which they're going to show like a sneak peek of Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, that's cool.
Zack tweeted that he was going to be there, like he was going to be a part of that. So that's going to be interesting to see. If you go to DC Fandom right now, the website, let me see. I had it up, but I don't have it up now. But anyway, if you go to, they just say it's Tuesday.
Yeah,
but there's no other information there. But so. That's leading people to believe if Zack says he's going to be there, like what do we expect? A release date possibly? Like, is that a good time to announce a release date?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I think because they don't want to overshadow what they're doing with this movie.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And you know what? And that could be the case as well, because I think that I honestly think we're going to get a release date once this movie comes out. I think, in my mind, I think there's going to be an end credit scene with this movie, and it's going to involve the Snyder Cut or something they could have easily put together when Zack was just filming, a little bit ago. And then I think that's what's going to happen, and that's going to say, and then it's possibly going to say the release date, or maybe at the end they're going to give us another trailer or something. I think on Christmas Day we're getting something. I think that's when a lot of stuff's going to go down.
Well, I'm with you with most of what you said until you said Christmas Day. The reason why I say that, because, so I believe, like you said, we'll get something, some kind of stinger trailer, something at the end of Wonder Woman 84 that's like, okay, the project, Wonder Woman 84 is out. You enjoyed it. Now, the next big thing is the Snyder Cut, right?
Yeah.
It's coming out internationally in theaters on the 16th, on Wednesday. I believe we're going to start getting some leaks. Yeah, we're going to start getting some leaks on Wednesday about what that end credit scene was.
Yeah, that's true.
And that I think we're going to hear about the release date on the 16th. That's me just guessing. That's no intel. But that's what I believe after Wonder Woman 84. So, we'll see. We'll see. Now, I mentioned to you. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No. I was just going to say that's the last piece of the puzzle. The last thing that we possibly need is a release date. That's it. And then you watch it. That's it. A release date.
Man. But it's like when we find out, like, I wish I had the slate, the actual release date slate for Warnermedia. They have nothing scheduled for February at all.
Yep.
And I was watching Prime stream the other day, and he's leaning heavy on February as the release month.
Well, my latest video, I talked about that a little bit because Fatal J made a video too saying that, like you said, February. He said February, November, they're only 2 months. They don't have anything coming out. And I was like, I was kind of scared because I was like, November is a huge month for the movement and for Zack Snyder and everything that we did. And I was like, but damn, like that's too late in the year. I don't want that. But then February was a 214 day. That was a big day too. 214, the original cut and everything. Yeah. So that number has a lot of significance. So I was leaning heavy in February, but a lot of people have been saying Zack loves to release his movies in March, his birthday month. He's released most of his movies in March. So I was like, hey, I'm fine with that too. As long as you can give it to me first quarter of 2021, that's all I ask for.
I could at least say that we're going to see it. The first quarter. I was leaning on May all this time, but I think it's coming out sooner than May. And man, I think we're going to find out very soon. But
I can't wait.
I was mentioning to you about these Vero posts that people, like anytime Zack posts a post on Vero, it's like it's like a Zack Snyder Christmas for everyone on Twitter. So they're grabbing photos. And so to kind of preface what he's saying here, Zack tweeted or posted on Vero that he's remastering the BVS to expand the ratio, the aspect ratio, get more like the IMAX screen. So here they were saying here, let's see, what's this question here? When can we expect it to be released? I think I got part of a question now. Let me go over here. Let's see. He answers David Avery here. It says fixed coloring too. That says yes. And let me see. Let me blow this up some. But it's like I said, it's like we're looking for nuggets. Anytime Zack talks on Vero, man, it's like, oh, what is he saying? Okay, here it is. So Stephen Barton, I think, asked, is there going to be a home release at some point or HBO? Zack says, I don't know, but I would imagine both, which is what we all were expecting, home release. And then we see the reaction of the poster there. He's very, very happy.
That's funny.
I like that. And then here, let's see. We got Abdul saying, just in time, Detroit charity screening. I'm not really getting a lot from this. Okay, so the first question, they were like, what? Like you expanding the ratio? At the very bottom, Zack says, yeah, it's crazy. I forgot how much was cropped out, which is interesting because that makes me think of the nightmare scene. Like everyone always been talking about how much more there was in that shot. And I think even Zack talked about that. Yeah. So it's like, like it's gonna be interesting to see, I'm gonna get anything that Zack puts out, like updated. So I'm gonna get it.
There's a reason he's doing that, and I think that's to build more hype for the Snyder cut. So if he's working on that too. I mean, he's working on so much shit. But if he's working on that and he says it's coming out before the Snyder cut,
interesting. Maybe we get like another deleted scene or something. I don't know. Like, I mean,
there's Fatal J up in here.
We got Fatal. We got Fatal J. What's going on with you? Reminding people to smash that like button, subscribe if you're not. Make sure that notifications on because you never know when I just show up with Tyler from Subjective Reviews. It's like I just pull him out of bed or something. But so it's like so it's very interesting. Like I said, leading up, I think. We was talking before the show that, we're waiting for information. Like the very next thing is just a release date. We just need to know the release date now because I don't want to spoil nothing now from the movie. It's like we really don't want spoilers now. We're so close to seeing it. So now the next big thing is the release date, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And like you said about spoiling everything, it's just like it kind of pisses me off a little bit about the whole Jared Leto thing getting out and little things like that. But even the boss himself has said it plenty of times before. He's like, "Listen, guys, you know nothing about this movie.
We didn't see nothing yet.
You think you know? Come on, it's 4 hours. You think you know what's happening? You have no idea." And again, I could look at the script the whole script, and I can see what's going to happen, shot by shot, whatever. But I still want to watch it. I still want to see it happen. You can tell me what's going to happen, but I still want to see it, and I'll still be blown away by it. And I've been ready for this damn thing for what, going on 3 years now, or no? Is it past? Yeah, we're going on just past 3 years. So
that's all we need now. Just that announcement. Now we're approaching the hour mark. If there's any last minute questions, comments for Tyler or myself, we're gonna kind of wind this down. But like I said, it's an exciting time, man. I mean, after we got that announcement, just me personally, I just been like in celebration mode because it's like we know we're getting it. Like all the people that was hating on the movement. Like I remember like your videos, a year or two. I think it was about a year ago when I started watching your videos, and it was like those daily updates, like weekly updates. Like, are we getting close? Are we getting close? And so like I think I told you that before. And it's like that's what the movement is about, man. It's like everyone was putting their voice to it, and now we got it. It's almost like we can kind of exhale and like, okay, let's get the project now. Let's watch it. And then let's start fighting for the next one, probably.
Yeah, I know. It's probably gonna get trashed. All the critics are gonna hate on it, and everyone's gonna be, that was the worst thing I've ever seen. And we're like, oh no.
Oh man, they rate. I mean, because you have people like after that Disney Investors Day, for some reason these shields like John Campea had to somehow compliment Disney by bringing up Warnermedia for some reason, like saying like, oh, they just They slapped it, they slapped the nuts in their forehead or something. He said something stupid like that.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yes.
Oh, come on, John.
Yeah, I didn't capture that tweet, but yeah, I'm like, come on, Camp. You're like, you just want the drama.
Well, listen, I'll oh God, now I'm pissed off. Now I want to come at Disney again. I should have done. Let me tell you something. If HBO Max or DC wanted to blow you away and create all these logos with movies that aren't coming out for 10 years, they could have done the same thing. You understand? Like, they didn't even give you I don't think they gave you release dates for like probably more than half of them. They're just like, yeah, that's gonna happen. We don't know when, but here's the logo for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if they wanted to do like everything that they've told us about is happening. Like I'm pretty sure we have information or we have release dates. We know when it's going down. So yeah, but you know what? Oh God, man.
It's crazy, man. But I think the thing that Zack has learned, you see, he's going to like Grace Randolph for interviews. Like he's not using the regular access media to promote this. So it's like Zack knows what's up. He knows, that narrative.
Well, that's the thing also is like YouTube, like that's the future of like, movie reviews and everything. And he's always done this. He's been connecting with the fans. And now he only takes interviews from, people on YouTube. Like he's been on a couple, like he did the interview with Chris Wong. He did the interview with Dave, the film junkie.
Yep. Then
he was on the Real Emotion. And like he just keeps on circulating and just doing stuff with these guys, and it's so great. And then we have all of these like Fabian Wagner doing interviews with us, and everyone that was involved with the production, Ray Porter and all those guys. It's just like they're all coming to us now, and because they realize that this is the future, and this is streaming is also like killing the critics. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is great.
It's direct to fans.
Exactly. It's all streaming, and you're going to have a couple occasions where people literally just buy 1 month subscription to see a movie or a show. And some people do that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that's not going to happen. People are going to go, oh, I'm already paying for Netflix. I'm already paying for HBO Max. And they just plop this on there. I'm going to watch it, if I'm interested in it. It's easier to do that compared to getting a horrible review on a movie that you might see in the movie theaters. Now you're not going to see it. Because you have to actually go out there, spend your money, and but you're already paying for a subscription in your house, so you're going to watch it. Zack, the Snyder Cut changed the game. It's flipping everything on its head.
Changed the game, and you made a good point as far as Zack coming to the fans, because that's what it was kind of reconfirmed. I guess that's my inside source for the day. But they said Zack is he's strategically going to these fan sites, these content creators, and then. What has that done? He goes to Chris Wong's show. A major trade had to quote podcast. to get Zack information.
That's funny you say that, because all these articles I read about the Snyder Cut now, they're like, oh, Zack was on Dave the Film Junkie's YouTube channel, and he said, or he was on Chris Wong Swenson's YouTube channel, and he said this, and it's so funny to see that. Like before, it was like, oh, Zack was talking to Variety, or Zack was doing an interview with whatever, and now it's just all YouTubers are getting like, even Fatal J was in an article the other day.
Fatal J was
what? He was. What was it? We got this covered or something like that. It was hilarious. It was Fatal J and Film Gob. They were quoting Fatal J and Film Gob, and it was so funny.
That's hilarious, man. But see, that's that shift. Like, anyone that's doing content creation. I mean, I think this year just kind of opened up opportunities. I mean, in a crazy year, I had more time to just get a microphone and start talking. So it's like a lot more people can lend their voice. And now it's like Zack, like Ray Fisher. They're saying, okay, we can go to y'all and talk about this stuff, and not worry about Access Media. So when this drops, it's like you already know you have that built-in fan base that's going to be vocal on social media, So interesting time, man. Interesting time. But as we wind this down, Tyler, man, I appreciate you coming through. Anything you want to shout out, or any last comment about this MCU slate, if you want to?
No, I mean, all I want to say is the fans out there of the Marvel movies, MCU, and hey, if you're a fan of MCU and DCEU, that's whatever. That's fine with me. That's all good. It's all content. It's all movies. It's all love. Whatever. I prefer the more DC, the more mature stuff over here, and I'm the Snyder Cut. And you got what, like you said, there you go, Steppenwolf, and you got the 15th, right? Is when the Wonder Woman premiere. Looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. And then you got Christmas Day. Wonder Woman's coming out. I'm so ready for that. Ooh. And then, hey man, 2021. That's the year.
I mean, we knew it all could get better, but like it's literally going to be a better year. Like it just literally is going to be crazy. As soon as we find this release date, it's all about just that countdown, to that. And then just imagine, dude, when that first episode comes out, like someone on Twitter was talking about how long should they give their followers to watch it, because they were like, I'm just going to talk all about it as soon as it drops. It's like, dude, it's fair game. When that drops, that's all we're going to be talking about, man. Screen captures and all kinds of stuff, bro.
It's going to be, dude, it's going to be a tough month. It's going to be a tough 4 weeks, because I just know that, like, probably that first episode, I'm not going to be able to go to, like, if they release it, I'm thinking probably a Sunday night is probably when they're going to do it. If they do that and they do it every Sunday night, I'm not going to be, like, the first Sunday, I'm not going to be able to go to work.
You got the clapper?
Oh, shit, my light just, no, hold on, I ran out of juice.
Okay.
Got this.
Plug it up.
Technical difficulties. But, no, yeah, like, it's that first day, man, I'm not going to be able to go to work, because I just know that it's something that we fought for so long, and then we finally get to experience it, and it's, again, like I said, 4 hours. It's gonna be crazy,
dude, man. I mean, like you said, that first episode, it's like we're gonna get that first episode with a cliffhanger. I mean, goodness, that's gonna be nuts. Just waiting another week. Because, like I said, I watched The Mandalorian, like I said, and they have their little cliffhangers, but it's like okay, I can just watch the episode again. They'll be, palatable.
Yeah.
And, with this here, like you get that cliffhanger, like, oh, they find Superman's body or something, or it's like, who knows? And then it's like it cuts off. I'm like, oh,
so
good.
every now and then I have like daydreams of like how it's all gonna go down or whatever.
Yeah.
And the other day I had one. we're such nerds when it comes to this shit. But anyway, no, I was thinking about the first episode, right? And something I'm really looking forward to, and I even made a video about this. I think what I'm like looking forward to most about this movie is the history lesson.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about like possibly that first episode. And again, I'm not sure if it's going to be in the first episode or in the middle. I've heard kind of both, but if it is the first episode and that shit's like 30 or 40 minutes long, and like they kind of like the show starts, you have your introduction, because Zack's gonna give us a banger intro. Like when it comes to intros, like his movies, it's the best. He's going to give us a banging intro. It's going to be awesome. Then you're probably going to have something, something happen in 10, 20 minutes, no real action. Well, whatever, talking about Superman dying and all this stuff. I don't know. But then you're going to get to the history lesson. And it's going to, like I said, I'm thinking like 30, 40 minutes. And that's how it's going to close. And it's just going to be bombastic. It's going to be Dark Side, the Martians, the Green Lanterns all getting together, Themyscirans. And they're,
the last shot is probably Dark Side. Like, episode 1, it ends with Darkseid like executing some people or something, and then
or leading into the next episode could be that you could see Darkseid arriving for the history lesson or something, and then
cliffhanger.
That's a good cliffhanger.
Like that shot in the trailer, like it shows up. Maybe that's the ending shot of episode 1. Then it's like. End of episode. You're like, what? Like, what is going on?
What do you think about Grace? I think you touched on this. I'm just not sure. But what do you think about Grace Randolph saying there's not going to be a Green Lantern in the movie?
Yeah, so I had a couple good episodes on this. Y'all can check out my video list first off on Still Up to Ink. But man, my theory is this. I do not believe there will be a main active Green Lantern in the Snyder Cut. I believe that Zack kind of had that cameo that other people talked about before where they kind of show up at the end or something. Yeah. But I don't believe like the Sam Benjamin guy, if he is Hal Jordan, I don't think he'll be an active Green Lantern in this film. So, and I say that because I know Grace can be hit or miss. People have their thoughts about Grace, but she's interviewed Zack twice since the announcement.
Yeah, and
she knows how the Nightmare Joker already looks. Like she has information, you know. Sometimes she kind of comes from the hip with it, but I don't believe that there's like a main Green Lantern we're going to see like in battle. Now I was told that for sure that in part 2, you'll definitely see a lot of Green Lantern action in part 2. But the first. Snyder Cut. No, I agree with Grace. Actually, there's not like a main Green Lantern. No.
Yeah, or I mean, what you could have as well is maybe like you'll be introduced to Sam Benjamin's character before he is Green Lantern.
Possibly.
And because he says that he has like a 30-minute scene or something like that, and maybe some stuff's going down, and then at the very end of the movie, you see like the ring flying around and it attaches to his finger or whatever, and then it's kind of like, oh,
that'd be dope.
I mean, but again, like I said, we know so much about this movie, but we don't know anything at the same time. Zack's giving us a lot of stuff, but yeah.
That's crazy, man. I mean, it's gonna be exciting, like just to get to that first episode, and like Tyler told us he had a dream, and at the last the last picture we're gonna see his dark side at the end of episode 1. So that's what I'm expecting. First episode, but we're gonna go ahead and roll out, man, to kind of keep our time together here. But on behalf of myself and Tyler's Subjective Reviews, like I said, I'm gonna pull him on the channel again. We're gonna work this out another time, in the near future. So probably after the announcement, I'll hit you up. That's
there you go. There you go.
So, but everybody, y'all be safe out there. We'll catch y'all next time.